Feel free to pause, rewind, and replay as many times as needed. Let's get ready. I'm going to open up the drawing by using green. Green means go. And the beauty of this system that I came up with is that it's not dependent on drawing the human head first and then measuring out all of these heads. That's the classic way of drawing the human figure. There are numerous ways of drawing a proportional human figure. They're almost all head-based. I came up with this torso-based system, and it's worked very, very well for me and my students, okay? So let's get started. Have your sheet of paper out in front of you. I'm going to start drawing kind of off to the side. This is a practice sheet. Here we go. I'm going to draw a trapezoid. I'm trying to draw lightly. Of course, colored pencils are quite waxy, and so they're kind of hard, more challenging to draw a lighter line. But here we go. I drew a trapezoid to open up the torso. All right. Now notice that it's a rather, what I would call a weak trapezoid. The sides are not sloping in downwards very rapidly. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to show you what happens if, what happens if we start drawing a body with a very wide, strongly angled trapezoid. Okay. Now, this might not make much sense right now, but you'll see how this is going to work out a little bit down the road. So next, I want to just show you, what does this trapezoid represent? This trapezoid is representing this zone right here. It's basically the shoulder bones coming down to the top of the hips. It doesn't matter if the character you're drawing is male or female. It's going to have the trapezoidal shape. You can see it right there, okay? The next area we're going to draw is a box. It's going to be a rectangle, and it's going to represent the hip or pelvic zone of your character, okay? Now we want to make this just a little bit wider than where the bottom corners of our trapezoid is at, okay? Now, again, this 6H is going to help me produce a light line, a line that isn't too dark. It's easy to modify with our best friend, the eraser. Over here, remember, this is a very strongly sloped trapezoid, which we should try avoiding at this point of the game. We're just trying to learn how to draw an average size body. But I am also going to put a box for the pelvic zone over there, okay? Next, we're going to talk about legs. Now, the beauty of this system is that the leg length is determined by the length of the trapezoid, okay? So if you grab the top of the trapezoid and the bottom, and you bring that down, we can make a very light measurement mark here. That's going to be the knee zone. And we're going to do that one more time from the knee to the heel. This is the heel zone, okay? So I'm drawing these lines very light. We're not going to keep these at all. They're going to go bye-bye later. We're going to erase them with their best friend, the eraser. Now, some people, they kind of freak out. They're like, there's no way the human leg is that long, okay? So I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm going to use this properly proportioned drawing mannequin, and I'm going to show you that from the shoulder bones, which are here, down to the top of the hip is that long, right? Now watch. There you go. The length of the upper leg is as long as that measurement, and then from the knee to the heel, if you look, it's also the same measurement. Okay, so your urge will probably be to go, whoa, this is way too long, but it's not. All right, the human legs are quite long. Let's go to this oddly drawn trapezoidal figure up here, and I'm going to measure it too, and make light measurements here and here. Okay, that's the knee line for this torso, right? And that's the heel line for this torso. Now, the one thing I hope you're going to be able to see here pretty rapidly is that my system is very easy to scale, right? This is a pretty big figure. This figure is quite small, but my system is flexible. It's very easy to draw the figure large or to draw them very small, all right? So let's move on. We're going to sketch the legs in at this point, the stick legs. All right, don't ever be afraid of drawing stick figures. They work very well for me, and I've been drawing for a very long time. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to draw a line that comes out on a weak angle out from the bottom corner of the rectangle. When it hits the knee measurement, it's going to go straight down. And when it hits the heel measurement, we're going to draw the foot. Now notice there's a little bit of a stick line behind the lower leg. That's the heel. And this is where the toes are going to be. Okay. Now we're going to draw the same leg reversed on the other side. Again, a weak angle out till we hit the knee line. Then we go straight down till we hit the heel line. Draw a stick line for the foot, making sure you got a little bit of a line behind the lower leg where the ankle is. Just as a reminder, hey, we got to put a heel on that foot when we're done. All right, so what we're trying to achieve right now is the look that we see a lot of people when they're just standing in a relaxed state, talking with a friend or family member, or at work or wherever. The legs have a slightly outward angle. There's a slight bend to the leg. And as you can see, there is a slight bend to those legs. Now, let's go to this figure, right? Where I said, the trapezoid's drawn way too wide. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what happens if we draw those legs on the, we're shooting for a standing pose, but we're drawing the angle way too wide. So watch this. All right, look at this angle here. Holy cow. Right? The angle of the upper leg is making this person not look like they're standing, but rather they look like they're riding a horse, right? Or even a rhino, okay? So this pose right now is off, right? This pose is off, way too wide at the shoulders. Legs are too far spread to make it look like they're merely standing in a relaxed state, all right? Let's move on. We are now going to determine the length of the arms. How are you going to do that? Well, we're not going to do it by counting heads. Okay, we're not going to count heads. The beauty of this system, again, is it's entirely based on the trapezoid, right? So here we go. How long are the arm parts? Well, the arm parts, now I'm going to go with orange so that you can see this. The arm parts are half the height of the torso, half. Okay, so you can make that in any color you want, or no color at all. I'm making it orange so it stands out to you just a little bit. What we're going to do with this next step is we're going to set the arms up as if the person is standing in a relaxed state. Okay, and when people stand, their arms have a slight angle out. And then at the elbow, they have a slight angle in. And then the hands end up floating somewhere around in front of the thighs, okay? So I'm going to just grab this measurement here. I'm going to mark it off over here. Give me some guidance. So that's the upper arm. I'm checking it. It is half the torso. That means this is the elbow. Now, if you want to put a dot there to help remind you that that's where the elbow is, go ahead. You don't have to use an elbow. I'm going to now angle it in. Now, the lower arm is as long as the upper arm. So let's measure that. A little bit short. And then here, that's the wrist. And we're just going to simplify the hand. We're going to just draw it as a very light oval. We don't need to worry about finger lines at this point, okay? The other arm, You could draw it in the same pose over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this individual look like they're maybe waving to someone, right? So I'm bringing this arm out on a different angle, right? Because it can pivot and rotate at the shoulder. Let me check its length. A little short, right? I need to aim for here. So there's the elbow. And now I'm going to bring the arm out this way. And they're in the process of waving. Maybe they're not quite sure who the other person is. They're hoping it's Susie. They're hoping it's Susie. And they're kind of like, oh, hi there, not quite certain. So the hand, I'm going to show a different angle, right? Kind of in a waving, flagging motion. Let me make sure it's the right length. And it is, okay? So right now, this is the properly proportioned body at this point. And now what we got to do is we got to set up for the neck and head, all right? Now, the neck and head is equal to half the height of the torso, right? So grab this measurement again from the top of the shoulders to the middle of your trapezoid, right? And you're going to bring it up. Now, you're going to start your mark a little bit lower than the top of the trapezoid, like right about here, okay? Take that measurement, bring it up. This mark up here, that is the top. That is the top of the head, okay? That is the top of the head. And what we're going to do next is we're just going to draw a stick line that goes up towards that direction. And we're going to divide this distance by 2/3, all right? So, you know, you're just going to kind of eyeball it a little bit here. This is where the chin's going to be. Imagine this length divided into thirds, right? And this is going to be the bottom of the chin. And now that we know where the bottom of the chin is and the top of the head is at, we can come on in and we can draw the tall oval for the head, okay? Heads are not round, okay? They're not circles, right? Avoid drawing a circle for the head. Right? I like to describe the actual shape of the head to be more like a cough drop or a tall green grape. If you want to say tall purple grape, that's fine. But in any case, it is an oval, right? A vertically oriented oval, all right? So I hope you can feel, right? This is already a well-established proportional human figure, and we're doing it all with stick lines, right? This is a stick figure. Believe it or not, folks, this is like 80% of getting your figure to look awesome is getting the stick figure laid out correctly with the proper proportions and remembering where the pivot and bending points are. All right, so what's next? Well, we could start by indicating where we're going to be putting facial features in the future. So I'm going to go to my orange pencil, and I'm going to divide this oval horizontally in half very lightly. That is the eye line. And then halfway between the eye line and the bottom of the chin, we're going to make a short horizontal dash. Don't make it dark. That's where the nose is going to go, the bottom of the nose. All right. And then halfway between the bottom of the nose and the chin, we're going to put just a little dot. That's going to be like the lower lip. All right. So the lower lip is halfway between the bottom of the nose and the bottom of the chin. Thank you for growing with me. Please remember to subscribe, like, and click to be notified whenever new content is uploaded to the channel. Keep practicing and playing whenever possible. Until next time.